Right, we are rejoining Karuta after successfully defeating Nidell and the escaping Caligra, claiming two more relics, completing 5 sets in total. Only one set remains. The purple set of relics that sadly was stolen on behalf of Nidell and Cronus from Selim during their time on the Flying Fortress. You guys escaped the Cave of Wonders, and you guys started flying in the direction that the refugees were heading to kind of go back for refuge or for safety and sanctuary, kind of in the direction that you guys came. As you guys flew through the night and slept, you rise in the morning with the sun kind of already kind of hitting the desert sand, and you see the makings of tents off in the distance as you make way on Argos. The wind howls across the scarred hills, and as you crest a ridge, you see where this camp has kind of been made out between pretty open landscape, but between what shattered stones they have to kind of build some temporary fortifications. You see a sea of makeshift tents, firelight flickering firelight flickering still from the morning fires, and in the shadows they still kind of catch your eye. The air kind of hums with voices, singing, weeping, and other conversations that are bustling upon the ground below. As Argos as Argos gets closer and closer to the encampment, you start to see the Gilded Army's presence is very much seen here. Lots of golden tents and soldiers equipped in bronze and bright gold type of armor. There are many of them in disciplined rows, where many of the refugees seem to be scattered in chaos. You'll be able to see flags and tents from you that some herald Agrabah symbols and things of that nature, and see people that are soon to be scribing wards in the sand in the perimeter of the encampment. You also will see at the center of this camp a war-torn kind of tent. It's golden threaded and marked with the sun crest of the Gilded Army. And as you approach, you start to see people first kind of rushing around a little bit quicker, moving on foot as a flying ship approaches. But as you get closer, you can even hear just brief words of people shouting, "It's Argos!" and things coming from down below. Do you guys land in the center, or what would you guys like to do?
Yes.
Okay. You fly Argos down. You roll out it finds a clearing where you are able to disembark. Do you leave the bears, I assume, and the wolf on board, or who's all disembarking? Everyone?
Yeah, I will. I'll leave the cubs on the ship with the wolf to keep them company. I'm only going to part ways with them when Lorna's sister decides to leave. I want to have her. I want to have Lorna's sister to take the cubs with her. That's the plan.
All right. Okay. As you guys disembark, you are going to see things around the camp that kind of catches your eyes, along with some familiar faces that you've seen in the past. Again, you see that central war tent in the middle, where seemingly to be where the center of operations are. But you also notice near a campfire a couple familiar individuals sitting around. You'll see. Actually, let me go ahead and pull you guys onto this page, so you guys land in the camp, and you're going to see Leora and Flora over there, and along with two other men and a few other refugees that seemingly come from Karif or one of the mountainous or plains tribes where you come from, Skyboar. Sitting amongst them is Flora, your sister Lorna, and you see her there without Umbra. Other things you're going to notice around the field is you're going to notice that there is a dwarf in black armor that seems to be a female dwarf. I'm sorry, in black armor that seems to be training children, refugees in some basic combat skills, along with a silver dragon next to her with sigils and arcane kind of glyphs appearing around her form. What would you guys like to do?
Laura's gonna run over to Flora.
Okay. 1 second. As you start rushing over to Flora, Lorna, she immediately jumps up from her seat and starts running towards you. Tears are already kind of streaming down her face as she's just relieved to see you once again, and she clasps you in her arms and squeezes you as tightly as she can as soon as she reaches you. She's speaking through tears of happy and sad emotions of what has transpired so over the past few days, but you see a feeling of great weight lifting off her shoulders and a breath of fresh air as she sees you in person.
Lorna's probably also crying at this point and just hugs her and doesn't let her go.
She speaks and says, I'm worried sick about you. Ever since we've left, we've been trying to make sense of things, find and reunite some families here. We've had great success, but Ambra's been kind of off and on his own since we came back. He's changed. The experience on that ship really seemed to affect him.
Understandably
She kind of
so.
gestures over up to one of the ridges, and you can see a small silhouette of a black dragon kind of laying down and looking out over the encampments, but kind of off to himself.
Are you okay, though?
We've seen too much.
You have.
I feel like the world owes us something. some brief reprieve from all this awfulness. But I shall be fine.
Good.
She then goes on to speak out. I've been speaking to Leora and her father. She got reunited once we came back. He was in one of those pretty high containment cells, so he wasn't let out a lot. We weren't sure. She wasn't sure what happened to him, but he has arrived and they've been reunited, and it's good to see some of those families back together. And Skyward, you will see Leora, and you will notice that the man that she's sitting next to is a chieftain that you know by the name of Takala. He's one of the neighboring tribe chieftains near you. And Skyward, you're also going to notice that there's another young man in that kind of group. Someone that's from your tribe. You know him as a ranger, scout, and a very close friend to the chieftain's son from your village.
Okay.
Laura kind of continues talking with you, Lorna, about just that and how she's been talking with them about her plans to go back to Galos to, with Umbra, or to tell the family the news and see what the plans are. Anything else from you?
Well, at some point we'll go and talk to Umbra, and maybe later when they're not, just arriving, she'll maybe flash the ring, but she's not being overly flashy right now.
Skyward, as you step off the ship and Flora has us reunite and it draws the attention of that campfire, you will see the man that you know is friends with the chieftain's son kind of stand up and start to approach you as well. At this point, you see Leora kind of lean over and say something to her father. But eventually, Amesh approaches you and sticks out his arm for a firm shake.
Skyward will shake his hand. Does the whole Beastmaster handshake, where he like clasps the wrists.
Oh, definitely. He kind of speaks to you, somewhat familiar. He's like, I never knew when we would see you again. Ever since you took off on your pilgrimage, I feared the worst when the world went to chaos. But I've heard Leora and the others telling stories of someone from our village. He kind of looks you up and down and he says, "You've changed much since you left home."
It's been very stressful. I thought it was hard back at our village, but I was wrong. He like looks back at the party. There's a bunch of psychopaths.
Lerner shrugs.
Says maybe a little psycho is what you need to get the things done that you guys have done. Or to survive in this world, at least. I got taken when I was investigating the northern lands of Zanza to investigate what the darkness was doing. I was picked up by the Ashi, and I drew the lucky straw to be sent here upon the flying fortress. If it weren't for you and your friends, I'm certain me and many others from our tribes would have perished aboard that thing.
I don't know about that. I find that our people can be quite resourceful in situations that they present itself. I too was captured when all this started. So I had a lot of faith in our people that we could escape at any time.
He nods. We are a strong people. Strong and solid like the roots deep in the ground, but it just seems like it's been a burning forest for some time, so it's nice to have this win here. A little bit of hope back. And that's invaluable to what you've given back to our people. You and Karuda. I will definitely make it back home. And with the families that know, those that remain, of what you've accomplished so far. And he just kind of gives you a really proud and, grateful, another strong, lingering handshake on your forearm, and actually reaches his hand over to put his other hand on your shoulder, as to really kind of, embrace you and really try to make every word he says to you heavy and felt. It's almost like his hand is squeezing your shoulder after every word as he's talking to you.
This is very alien to Skywar. He's not used to being recognized in any positive light.
He doesn't really have any more words to share with you, besides he just gives you another assured look and of gratitude towards you and your friends. He gestures over to the campfire where he is sitting I'm sure there's many that would like to talk to you. But Takala seems like he has been kind of talking the most amongst the people about how we're going to respond to this threat. It's no longer a threat that does not. I'm sorry, that not only threatens our lands, but all of Fantasia. And he kind of turns his body. Core turns his body to you and your friends, Karuda, to join them at the fire. Does everyone want to join that, or does anyone want to go explore the rest of the camp?
I would actually start making my way up to Umbra.
Okay.
Would you like Luna there?
I mean, I probably would have just walked off.
Noted.
Okay. Flora kind of follows Amesh back to the fire. Skyward and the others, do you all join?
Skyboard would join, yes.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach, Takala will stand up. This gentleman here, his daughter, close behind, kind of following his footsteps, and he approaches you as you near the fire, and he speaks to you, with a strong voice and very purposeful in his words. He looks at you and says, "You and Karuda," and he says, "Your arrow broke the storm. Your spirit is wind, and your mercy like the rain. Come sit, join me, you and your friends, and the rest of our tribes as we recount what has passed the past few weeks."
Salim is going to go and find something to stand on, and then make a performance and, give one of those speeches that are heartwarming and rousing, and introduce and say, "Here are the heroes of the day, Karuda," and point to the other four and say, "They are killers of dragons," and point to Skybor and say, "The winner over the fight with, what was her name? The tiefling?
Ligra.
Do the whole workup, the whole performance thing, with his skills, and basically tell all their great deeds and how the four of them give hope to the rest of us, and we will defeat this evil, and how all the people here helped, and all that good rousing." So if you saw the movie Braveheart, how he does the speech, or any of those movies where they do the big speech.
Who are you trying to give this performance to?
Just
like
everybody, the refugees, the tribesmen, everybody.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
Performance check. It's basically lifting up their great deeds and everything. 24. Tell how they killed the dragon, the red dragon. I can't even remember his name.
Your silver tongue makes artwork out of the words you choose to use as you recount the accolades and achievements of each of your recent adventures and accomplishments. And the
basically
kids...
how... I'm sorry.
Or no, go ahead.
Basically how different people from different areas and different races and different tribes join together, because we're stronger together than apart, all that kind of stuff. We have a barbarian, we have a Skyborg's tribe, we have Kali, I think, from the Greeks, and
Yep,
we
I got
have
it.
Cronus, that whole deal.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to. What's that size you're using for? Or wow.
56.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Sure.
As somebody
Good
who is
idea.
bad with names at the best of times,
Nick, you should know this by now. After how many years, we cannot remember NPC names.
What? I don't give you very easy to remember names.
Right? Right?
Now,
Mine is
can't that
at
be
least...
named? Why can't he be named Bill?
no, look, I knew there was a Flora. Did I know what
'Cause
she looked like other than
Druid.
red hair? Nope.
I didn't know
not
she
even-
had 20 years.
Yeah, I didn't
I didn't know
either.
she was part elf. Like, damn.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, mother got around.
You know what? I didn't even realize she had elf ears until you said something.
Wow.
I do what I can on. So, anyways, so yes, you say these words, and the guild. Everyone's already been excited to see Argus return, and it's going over swimmingly with everyone. You got the troops that are pretty stoic and disciplined, even crack a smile and even break formation to give a little cheer after each kind of milestone you outline. The people, the refugees that were kind of down, quiet and sad and morose, have the spirits as are lifted. There's many more kind of standing up, coming closer, forming a little crowd around you as you speak to all these different things, while Skybor, so you're doing that while Skybor, Lorna, and Callie are over with Leora, Talaka, Amesh, and Flora. So, as you guys regroup by the fire, what would you guys like to do? Or, I'm sorry, is there anything else you wanted to try to do during that performance, Celine?
Gotta fix my microphone. Just buff up their reputations and make them look really good in the eyes of Leora and Flora and all that.
Okay.
Downplay my own role, but
Okay.
uplift them. And how we will need everybody's help to defeat the final. Oh, is it the Empress?
One of them, yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are gathered by the fire, Talaka is going to speak out about how it's now is even more important time for all the tribes to come together. Skyward, that the tribes have actually lived pretty balanced with one another, in the country of Karif, and they really haven't had to have a governing council over all the tribes. You all seem to live equitably and balanced. And Talaka is kind of here saying that we really should be pulling on those strengths and amassing the tribes. He picks up some sticks and he shows how one is easy to break and many are hard to break, and he's talking about how if all the tribes come together, we can really kind of snuff out what's going on in Zanza, because there's no longer any kind of goes on elaborating. The fight, the war is no longer taking place just in our world or just on our continent. It's not in our lands, but on our continent, but everywhere. And we cannot retreat and protect what's ours if this larger looming force is out there, decimating everything. And he'll kind of speak to speak about how the spirits have called out to him, wailing in despair, just at the amount of life lost not just over the course of months, but yesterday specifically. He's like, something terrible is happening. Worse than we have ever experienced yet. That's hard to believe, but the time for action is now. And you see a lot of people in agreement, including Omesh. Leora is listening, but you give me a perception check, Skybor. Okay. You'll notice that Leora is listening to her father, but constantly is kind of looking over to see your reactions to what her father's words are saying. Do you or anyone else have anything to say as he's kind of talking about what's going on at large in the world?
I think Callie's just taking it all in, figuring out what on earth is going on.
We need to be able to communicate amongst other colonies. We are too divided. We need to assemble.
So we've lived too independently, our tribes. But if we unite, we can definitely take a stand of what the forces are standing against us. Do you have any suggestions, young Skybor, on how we can convince the other tribes to unify under one banner and fight for the same cause? And Liara will kind of speak up at that point and say, I think Haruda is at Skybor and his allies. I think his story is inspirational, Father, and I think we could convince many to heed the call. Ramesh will nod to that. And he'll say, the Skybor that left my village is not the Skybor that stands before me, accomplished and confident, more capable in his skills. You've grown, Skybor, and I think you are someone that could unify us and lead us into the maw of what's coming. We have not seen the things that you and your friends have come across. Only you and your friends can assure us, or inspire the rest to respond to the call.
I'm just assisting my companions. I wouldn't say that I did a whole lot of help, but sure. I guess
kind of interrupts you, kind of talking yourself down, and he kind of says, "Don't ever speak of yourselves, but you and your allies. We are well aware how key your allies are into all this." And he kind of gestures over to the rest of you and says, if I've made any of you feel shortchanged or less about your contributions, as my apologies. With Skyward, he says, you are a man now. This time for self-doubt is unfounded. You've proven to everyone how capable and strong you are. Locke's like, you will inspire the people at home. And when they come to the call and ready to go to war because of their fellow tribesmen and others that have come before them, they're going to look to you for that confidence, for you to be that hero that they all know you, or all have heard and know you to be. And Leora smiles at this. She's definitely happy to hear these nice things said to you.
Callie kind of will say in Skybore's head, just own it. You are equal in this. Even if you don't believe it, we are not assisting each other. Partners, not assistants.
Oh, what's the insight check, Skyward? What are you trying to insight?
I was just saying if I was able to roll at a certain amount, whether or not if he thinks that he's
To
just
see if you believe him.
well, not so. Well, yeah, but kind of like he's just telling him what he might be expecting him to just be saying these things just to be nice, and not actually mean it or whatever. It's just
Yes, because this looks like a man who cares about being nice.
He's being genuine. He's not mentoring you in a state of he's trying to embarrass you in front of others. He's trying to continue to build you up in front of everyone. Say that you've proven yourself. There's nothing else stopping you from getting rid of your self-doubt besides yourself. He's like that's essentially what he's trying to get across to you, is that your self-doubt is unfounded, and everyone essentially thinks negatively or we're our own worst critic. We never measure up to our own standard, and he's saying that you're holding yourself to impossible standards, and you've already done more than the impossible. He's really just trying to connect with you and really break through to you how wonderful or how heroic and strong you truly are. Like, you are, although you may not believe it right this second, you are blossoming into a leader.
I wouldn't say leader, but sure.
Don't have to be leader. Doesn't
Passing
necessarily have to
to
be the one in
inspire
charge.
others.
Leader is someone that's inspiring to others. Absolutely.
Like a conscience.
Rude.
Skybor, Amish will speak up. Skybor, with your blessing, I plan to return home as soon as I can find safe voyage. And I promise to share the stories and things that you've done here back home. And I'm sure the chieftain will see eye to eye on what needs to be done. We must really no longer live in balance, but rather ally ourselves together to really take care of this threat. And he basically promises to go home and try to rally all the tribes of your homeland. Talaka kind of shares the same sentiment, saying he's going to try to better the alliance between the mountain tribes people and the plains tribes people, to be one strong nation.
A talking point you might need. It's not so much you no longer need to not live in balance for this. You just need to help us restore it. Strive for a larger balance?
All I know, while this darkness exists in Fantasia, there can be no true balance.
Exactly. And since that seems to be important to all of you from what I've heard, what
The
better way to
forgotten-
restore it?
Forgotten is an invasive species in Fantasia. It must be taken out before it
Bolt?
destroys everything.
We would greatly welcome your help. And I'm sure Skybor agrees. And Callie kind of looks at you like, yes, agree.
I wasn't disagreeing. I was fully on board with all this.
Sorry then.
Balaka will speak up. I've heard rumors of those that survived the blast that Limitir are escaping to Espa. Make sure to check in before we part ways once again. Skyward crew to let us know where we hope to reunite. Otherwise, I will go home. Speaking of plans to meet the enemy in Espa.
We will figure that out before everybody disperses to regroup and gather.
Flora will kind of lean over to you, Lorna, and be like, "So where's your Dragonborn fiance?"
He's probably wandered off to talk to Umbra. Yeah, he does that. I know he'll be back though, at some point. Probably. I'm not worried.
You have any more thoughts to the big day?
No, we've
Good.
kind of been dying out here.
You know, actually, though, I do have some thoughts to help with that.
Oh?
Go ahead and give me an insight check real quick, Lorna, before you do that.
Oh boy. Because this is gonna go well. That's a 7.
Yep. Her eyebrows shift when you relay that, but it's hard for you to kind of tell what that means. Callie, what were you gonna add?
Oh, just helping with girl talk. It's like, you know, this was not the first wedding I've helped plan or officiate.
Oh. I mean, I would be honored if you would
Yeah.
do that for us.
Unless you have, but she kind of indicates you for cultural aspects.
I mean, we do, but we could probably incorporate it.
Yeah.
Just
I don't-
scratch out this god and write this god's name on it instead.
Pretty much.
I mean, to be honest, just because some of the power. Actually, no, it doesn't actually come from. Yes, the cleric abilities, but this is a little bit of my own to the magic to do this. Yeah. It's a lot of. Not particularly interesting to explain.
It's magic-esque, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like Flora would understand this. Do druids get ceremony?
I don't know, but clerics and paladins do.
I don't think so.
Druids can conduct a wedding
Oh,
ceremony.
yeah.
Oh, sure, but like,
The
ceremony
spell.
literally has one for a wedding.
Yeah. No, the druids did not get it. I was gonna say, oh, maybe she knows. She's like, no.
Oh shit!
What?
Part of the what you get a.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
part of the wedding is making both of you stronger as a couple, and quite literally possible to live longer a little bit, or at least not get hit as much
Oh.
when you're close.
I mean, true. Huh.
Mm.
I just read this spell. A creature can benefit from this rite again only if they are widowed.
If widowed.
Okay, so I'm just gonna die again and we'll redo it again every 7 days. Yeah.
Wait, what? Everything? What's that?
Part of the spell ceremony is when they're within 30 feet of each other for a week, they have +2 AC. And you can only benefit from that again if you are widowed. And then get remarried.
So, Flora, how bad do you think Mum would be upset if I had got married out in the middle of nowhere?
Oh, no, not in the fucking chance are we doing that.
Why not?
See, her face kind of lights up a little bit at the mention. She goes, and she says, I think Mom would regret not seeing your wedding day, but I also know in this world of current uncertainty and the amount of life that's been lost, not just over the course of months, but in the last days, it would be nice to celebrate life amongst all the chaos and death, even for a brief moment of reprieve from everything that's going on in our lives.
She does have a point. But we're not saying your wedding so necessarily needs to happen here. And also, if she's related to your aunt, I've heard the fucking stories.
Yeah. So, okay, not gonna do it here, but, if we did happen to do it, we could just redo it back at home when everything's calmed down.
She says, just don't tell Auntie or Mom.
Yeah, Lorna likes your mother and your aunt. You can do that, right?
I mean, if I'm within 5 feet of them, I get advantage, so yeah. Because they love me so much. Not because of my key. No. Well, I don't even
We
know.
do sort of need to head over that way anyway, don't we? Rally people, tell them where to go.
I don't even know. What is our next step?
Rally people, go get the keys, save the world.
Speaking of keys, you think Salim could probably rock the yellow ones?
Didn't those keys sort of say, hey, I'm out of this fight? But also, I mean, you could give it a shot.
You guys do have a lot more completed sets. It is something you guys could consider.
There's like a little bit of hesitation from Lorna because she's like, I just hope that Anika's still alive, blah, blah, blah. But she's also like, I feel like Anika would want us to use them at least to stop all of this, so maybe she could be free and blah, blah, blah. And it's just, yeah. It's worth a try.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they represent her, we also have other things of hers and our memories. So, it's worth a try. Lorna's going to go into her bag and pull out the keys. Hey, Salim. Catch. And she's gonna toss them over. Yeet them at him.
That's Blaine.
Yep.
Sure.
A
Gently.
little boy jumps out of the crowd, grabs the keys.
I shoot him.
these sacred relics that
Thorn
were just
whip.
throwing like paper airplanes through the air.
A javelin of lightning. No.
Just pick the kid up by the scuff of their of their shirt.
Yeah.
He's probably bigger than I am.
Probably.
All right. You grab the yellow keys, and they do seem to hum, and glow a little bit, but something doesn't feel quite the same as the other one. It is reacting to you though, and your presence. It might take some time with these keys to see what develops or what can possibly happen. Perhaps you might see a visitor in your dreams to discuss um,
Terms.
what can help you in healing these keys.
Oh, my brain immediately went, oh yeah, we're going to like discuss custody.
Custody battle, you have to pay child support.
As you guys continue to enjoy the company and the fire and discussing of wedding plans and stuff, Cronus, you have finally made it up the mountain ridge, and you are now before Umbra, who does turn his head gently to look at you, um, and then kind of looks back at the sky a little bit as he kind of speaks to you. He calls you, he says, "Hello, Cronus. It's been some time since we've been able to talk to one another." And his voice just seems more mature and older. He kind of speaks a little bit further. He says, "I don't know what's going on inside of me right now. I don't feel normal. Ever since aboard that flying fortress, I've had all these terrible memories flooding back into my head. Memories of clearly not my own. And it's clear that you're not talking to a child, a teenager, but rather a full adult. Cronus is starting to come to terms with reality of what he is and what he, what his future may look like." They'll then go, "I know that you, Lorna, and Flora are not my parents. But yes, I want you to know that I think of you with high regards as my family. I shall always do what I need to do for you all. But I'm starting to wonder if I'm a risk if I am so easily captured and twisted."
At that point, I will kind of just sit on the edge of the cliff as well. Kind of just look over and be like, yeah, well, I was taken over in the last fight, and I tried to kill Lorna, so I'm just as guilty as you are.
What keeps you moving forward, knowing that the odds are stacking up against us? We've risked a lot and came close to losing everything. When do we keep gambling, and when do we stop while we're ahead?
But are we ahead?
No.
Well then, that means it's not time to stop.
Do you think I will be a risk? He then goes on to elaborate. He says, "I see so many terrible visions of those that came before me. And I'd love to say that they're just dreams or nightmares, but I find myself compelled to want to relive some of those things. But I know that is not the way that I want my future to go.
Then don't be afraid to ask for help.
Is it true that the rest of the dragons are going to come to the aid of the world? To the humans, the elves, the dwarves?
I mean, they talked about they were willing to, but in the end, it's still their decision.
If you were brave enough to broker that truce, perhaps I can do something brave of my own. I feel like I need to go seek out the metallic dragons. Surely if the chromatic horde is coming to our cause, the metallic dragons will not stand by idly while everything else collapses and their enemies become heroes. Perhaps I can start a new relationship between chromatic and metallic dragons. It's a new age of dragon. We are not the same that we were our first time upon Fantasia.
I mean, you understand what that means, right? You are probably going to have to show that you're worthy of being followed.
He's kind of lets out a little puff of smoke out of his nostrils because then I will have to do so. I've
Alright.
heard rumors and rumblings of a platinum dragon off in the seas, off the coast of Hanzu. A warrior by the name of Mulan spoke to me about it during my time here at camp. It's more rumor and myth as the dragon hasn't been seen in decades, but perhaps it's the best start I have to kind of see what else is out there.
Real quick.
Mhm.
Callie is able to do sending, right?
Right? Or I guess, Callie, can you do sending?
I can, yes.
Okay. Well, and then so, I will be telling Umbra, well, let's head back down to the camp before you jet out of here, and we'll get Callie to talk to Kami and see if he might have any idea where to start as well.
As you return back down to camp, and the rest of the group is kind of wrapping up socializing and talking about plans of heading or with Karif and Zanza and their role in the fights ahead. What does the rest of the group do? Are you guys hanging out there longer? Do you want to get up and explore, or just lit? Well, I guess it'd probably be best to regroup at the campfire. So, Cronus, you regroup with everyone at the campfire. With Umbra, who is very massive and staying in his dragon form as he walks through camp. The people, the refugees, the children are scared, but it seems like the guards have shifted from on high alert to at least accustomed to his visits. What do you guys want to discuss as you guys reunite?
I will actually walk to Callie and ask her to see if she can reach out to Kami and ask if he has any idea where to find a platinum dragon.
Sure. Just remind me, is Comey the horny old man, or who's
No.
Comey?
He's like
Which
the
one's
guy
Comey?
that was up on a platform in the middle of the storm.
Oh, then yes, I would much rather talk to him.
Isn't he green?
Yeah.
And he's got a purple Mr. Popo or somebody.
Yeah,
I
he's
do-
got a-
I do remember Mr. Popo more than anything.
Yeah.
Yes, Callie will cast sending and hello, Comey. We need your help. Everything is more balanced where the Isles are. Do you know where a platinum dragon is? Cronus needs your help.
You hear an old voice start to speak back to your message. Well, and as he starts to speak and talk, you hear another voice. Hey, you got on the call right now. But no, Kami says, "Are you looking for? I'm sorry. Are you asking about a specific one or just any metallic dragon?"
No,
Uh,
platinum.
The platinum.
You speak of Arion. Arion has not been seen for many, many decades. But a dragon that old doesn't just die for natural or just for no reason at all. I am sure he still rests in a deep slumber for when his time is needed once again. Last I recall, in those that I've seen and heard from whispers and words around the world and what I've seen from here, he is within the cavern deep within the sea to the east of Kanzu, near the Samros Isles.
Hallie will kind of like take the overload of the guy talking a little bit and just, your dragon's name is Harion. They are deep slumber, most likely in caverns at the eastern sea on the side by the Samros Isles. So literally, they're really close by, apparently.
Umbra will speak there and say, I wonder if Vegeta and the others then would know any lore or more truth to its whereabouts.
They might. You may want to try Splinter. They seemed a little more aged.
He nods.
What about the silver dragon in camp here?
Are you referring to the Dragonborn you're seeing?
Is that the one in the bottom picture?
Mm-hmm. There's a silver Dragonborn in the bottom.
Dragonborn. I thought you said dragon. Silver dragon.
Mm-mm. No, silver Dragonborn.
Okay.
Yes, that's as far as he knows. He's seen bits and old lore that they would most likely take refuge there. Caverns under the sea, eastern side of the Samros Isles.
Trying to recall. Vegeta and all them, did they meet Umbra? I don't believe they did.
I don't think they did.
No, I don't think they did either.
Okay.
Oh,
I think we should do
yeah.
another send to Vegeta to let him know a black dragon is coming and not to attack it.
Mm-hmm. So, Umbra, who are you going to first? Because they've met Cronus. They have no idea that a black dragon might be coming, so I'd like to tell them.
My plan was to go to the Saiyans to see if there was any, since that's the closest location to the last known whereabouts. But
Oh,
if you recommend Splinter, then I plan on going. I will go see the Shinobi first.
I mean, Cronus, do you think Goku would, or... Well, you're not female, so actually the same. Or might be a better Goku or Splinter or Vegeta.
You also have a direct communication line with Vegeta through your scouters whenever you want.
Oh fuck yeah! I can still let him know you're coming. He may be a little defensive of the Isles. I'll put the scouter on. Vegeta, you there?
It is King Vegeta to you.
Let's not get
Yes.
into titles. Cronus's adopted son is coming for your help in finding the lost great platinum dragon. So if you see a black dragon heading towards the Isles, don't shoot him. His name's Umbra.
I'm not running a daycare here.
You did hear me mention dragon, right? Not dragonborn. Dragon. 4 legs. Oh. Yeah, we're just gonna go with that.
Rough and brief, he's like, I'll see if there's anyone that can start any kind of research on a supposed dragon nearby.
Harrion. Last platinum dragon. Most likely eastern caves below the sea. If
Do
you
what
would
I
like to
can
narrow
before
your
I-
research.
I'll see what we can do while you're right preparation for your arrival.
I know, just I
Are
think
you-
we'll perhaps just Umbras. I don't know where we're heading yet.
I'm surprised to hear your voice. It's been a little bit, but word has already spread of the chaos that's coming from the Western Kingdom. Is the rest of your group still okay or with you?
We're all alive. Okay is really relative with some of this.
He kind of speaks gruffly. This, I said to you, Karuta, when you guys were here last, that we come to the aid of the Eastern Kingdoms and get balanced with his lands, but for what you helped us reclaim in independence, we will be there to repay the debt the Glimmertear had to go through.
We greatly appreciate the help.
Make sure to let us know when and where, and we will be there for the fight.
We will. And thank you for your help. And then she hangs up.
He calls you out. You do not hang up on the king of all Saiyans. I will hang up. And then he
Hang up. I hang up as soon as he says king. He's
Screen,
going
cut
to
scene. He's
stop.
like, I should have never given them scouters. It was the worst decision I ever did.
Turn to Umbra and Cronus. He is awaiting your arrival and looking to see what he can find.
Laura.
Make him a nice gift. Maybe a bouquet of flowers or something.
And if you want to get on his good side and call him King Vegeta, he's
Yeah.
real hung up on it.
He looks at you all and back to Flora and you, Lorna, and you, Cronus, and says, it sounds like I have a lot of work to do. And things seem to be moving rapidly right now. I'd like to head out immediately.
You're not gonna be the ring bearer?
His eyebrows rise a little bit. What?
Word.
No, I guess his brows, not his eye, or his brow ridge rises.
We're not getting married tonight. Although it would be appreciated if you were there at some point, if it happens, when it happens.
I mean, you already got the black suit.
What?
He nods and he speaks very warmingly to you guys. I will always be there for you. You all are my family.
Better be. I was
He
gonna
kinda
say we raised you.
leans his head down and nuzzles you, Cronus, and Flora. I will be back, hopefully with more help to our cause.
I'm sure you'll be able to find us. Look for the flying ship or whatever's blowing up. Or,
For the big pile of chaos.
or if you find somebody that can send, we can always reply.
He makes a dragon teethy grin. And then you start to see his wings start to flap. It's blowing sand all over, kind of whipping at the fire pits that still kind of burn this morning. And eventually he takes up into the air and starts flying in the direction of the Eastern Isles. You see one of the kids that the dwarf and the silver dragon are nearby kind of get scared and run towards the dwarven lady and cower kind of behind her hip. She kind of looks up in the dragon's air and then kind of whispers something to the child, who seems to rebuild his confidence and rejoins the group. At this point, the silver dragonborn will be starting to approach you all, as you have caught her attention, as you guys have been hanging out here for a minute, and you see her approach you. Let me pull her up real quick. She goes, "I've seen you all before. I don't know where. Not upon the ship. I was deep in the cells when we were all trying to escape. I saw you all in a dream. Or a vision. You must be Karuda, the benefactors of our rescue."
That would be us, yes.
The veil speaks in vibration, but you, Karuda, hum in harmony. Many big things await for you all. Do you know anything about the Spear of Finality? And that's the weapon that got fired on Glimmerdeer.
We know some. Not a lot. It's powered by one of the keys of Merlin. Or set
One.
keys.
It can't
One.
be right.
That's all
Two
they
of the
have.
keys. I think there's
A
two.
set. Yeah.
Yeah,
One
set.
of the sets.
One set.
2 of the keys. We have the other 5 sets.
He has a confused look upon her face. That can't be right.
Why?
Well, the vision I saw, all 6 rings around the Spear of Finale were illuminated. And that is when the weapon fired. It was a brilliant, radiant blast coming from the spear into seemingly the sky as it started to crack and fray and reveal another place of existence. Something in the void, revealing this dark, crystal-like structure on the other side.
Do you have a name?
Yes, my name is Sarazeth, but you and many others may just go ahead and call me Sarah.
Sarah, I think you were right in the vision part. This hasn't happened yet, but it is good to know.
Perhaps things to come, hopefully in your favor. Because you were the only six I saw firing the weapon in that vision.
Well,
Can you
at
repeat
least
that?
basically, we need to get all the keys onto the giant weapon Night Owl has, shoot it into the sky, and then we'll get to the Dark Empress's castle.
No, the Dark Empress's castle is the flying short fortress that has the.
It'll
Yeah.
take us to some other dimension then.
From your
probably-
understanding and research on all the things you've learned about Chernobog, it seems the
Chernobog's
script-
castle,
Chernobog's
prison.
chrysalis prison. Yes.
So, defeat the Dark Empress, turn her weapon to the sky, power of Merlin's friendship, shoot it, go face Chernobog. And perhaps, Merlin as well.
All of a sudden, you hear this crying from a child over the distance, and you hear the dwarven lady shout, "Sarah! I cannot train these children properly if you don't keep them under your protections. What's good is they're going to do us when they grow up if they've already lost an arm or a leg?" She kind of approaches you all. And she's joining next to you now. Noticeably shorter than the dragon. Still taller than Celine.
You had to go there, didn't you?
She looks over the group. Garuda, our heroes have saved us from that damned flying ship. Let me before I forget, to thank you graciously for our rescue.
No problem. Least we could do.
Sarah goes, "Excuse my rudeness. This is Barda. She is from Sovas with me. I'm sorry, she's from Sovas. Or we are both from Sovas. Sorry. I'm trying to find English words.
It's hard.
There's not been much news from Sovas until we went down into the deserts to kind of scout out the impact of the darkness that we've been fairly successful keeping at bay from our lands. It doesn't seem like the rest of the world has shared our same fortune."
No, they have not. Quite honestly, it might potentially be because you haven't met us yet. Sort of seems to follow in our wake.
She laughs and smiles at that remark and says, "Then the stories of your previous accomplishments are definitely no fisherman's tale then." She goes, "I am one of the royal guard from Sovas. I am supposed to be escorting my lady here safely on the expedition to, for diplomatic reasons until we were captured. And now it seems all my lady wants to do now is to get into trouble before we get back home. Speaking nonsense of visions and things she sees, with no bloody evidence to share." Sarah,
yeah.
this guy says, "You know that's not how it works, Barda. I have no control over what happens, but I just have these glimpses." And then Barda kind of barks back, "None of those glimpses told you how to avoid capture before we got taken upon the flying fortress?" And Sarah kind of just sighs and giving up that Barda just doesn't seem to understand.
Well, seems at least some of her visions might be useful in the grand scheme of things. I'm not psychically gifted myself, largely. I don't think they work quite as well as a sword. Or as predictable.
All I know is my plan is, once we get to safety, is get my lady back up to Sovas as quickly as possible. And Sarah says disappointedly, I don't think so, Barda. I think I'm supposed to go with these people. Perhaps my visions of what's to come may help them. Barda kind of immediately exasperated, like, there's no way your father will be happy if I come home back to Sovas without you in tow.
I mean, you're welcome to come as well. There's plenty of room in Argos.
Sarah says, no. Barda, you must go home and tell my father what is happening. He must speak to the rest of the councilmen and convince Sovas to no longer hide with what's happening going on behind or outside our mountains. Barda says, we've stayed alive for so long and kept our tradition. You think it's by any chance that we are the last dwarven kingdom in Fantasia? No ill will to any of the other leaders. Yes, but don't think for a second that they thought they could overtake us dwarves in the mountains and hills of so that we would have our independence as we do today. Your people should know that better than others, or just as well, Sarah. Your kin is is rarely welcomed anywhere outside our hills mountain. And she notions over to Cronus and says, perhaps that will change. But we all have to take that first step to make that change happen. Barda seems upset but defeated. You're not going to let this go, Sarah, are you? She looks over at you all and says, it depends. Will you have me upon your ship to join you on your travels?
Callie kind of like checks with the others if no one immediately says no.
Actually, I would insight this.
Go for it.
Nope, I think I might have clicked the wrong thing. Yep.
You did. Good religion roll, though.
Yeah.
He seems pretty much like a outspoken or forthcoming. She has a tendency to kind of overshare rather than play things too close to the chest. So she seems genuine enough.
Alright.
She smiles, obviously noting that she comes from some position of privilege from her home, not really waiting for you to agree or say yes. She goes, good, then it's settled. Barda, will you please get my belongings and get them aboard Argo as soon as possible? I assume you have a spare room for me. I don't mean to be imposed, but I can't sleep on any hardwood floor. I've been in those cells for too long, and I must have my comforts back.
Does Argo have rooms? Where have we been sleeping?
Oh, there are rooms.
Oh.
You guys have kind of fallen asleep everywhere on the ship, to be honest, besides the rooms. But there are rooms.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember passing a few of those. Yeah, there should be at least one or two decent ones.
Wonderful. Perhaps spending time with you will make these dreams a little bit clearer in the days coming.
Can't wait.
Read. All right. Anything else you guys want to do or discuss? The only other thing, I mean, obviously, there's tons of the Gilded Army again wearing various bronze and golden types of armor or adornments that match their cloaks or their brooches, and everything's very shiny and golden and reflective of the now rising sun and burning sun of the desert, now kind of quickly falling upon you guys out here.
While we're all here, but we need to sort of come up with some game plan of where we're telling people to meet us.
Honestly, I have no idea where.
Well, Sarah mentioned the giant weapon that shot over Glamadier.
But we don't know where that would be, right?
I mean, as of like 12 hours ago, over Glamadier.
True, but I don't think we're going to get there in less than...
No.
And it's already been a day.
I mean, the army's not going to get there in less than a day either.
Exactly.
But we could tell people to meet us in Esper? Sort of where you were telling people to meet you before anyway, right?
I think so.
I mean, I think that's where all the Western kingdoms are going.
Mm-hmm.
So the tribes, the dwarves, people from Sovos, everybody
Where is
here
Espa?
that's
That
West?
Sour?
Where
Yeah.
is Espa? Oh, Espa.
It's on the
Here.
eastern continent, but the one closest to the west.
It's where Josel was.
Where Josso
came
was from.
Madeir is like right here,
Stavros.
but they're escaping into Espa, which kind of starts right there next to the E, to the left of it.
I got nothing to take us there.
We have the ship.
Might.
Yeah, but I'm
yes.
saying something fast.
Yeah.
Do we need to get there fast?
I don't think we should in any case. Right? Because
We
it's
sort of
just...
need to get people.
Yeah.
Plus,
Now, I guess. So while we're looking at this map, so you have talked to people so far from the Southern King, the Karif specifically, and they've spoken about trying to gain support from at least the country Karif, possibly the rest of Zanza as much as possible. You spoke with the Samos Isles,
and Savos.
Sovas, yeah, and you have heard that Mulan's at camp. You haven't met her yet, but you haven't met her yet. You'd have to go looking around for her still. And no one really
think-
from the north.
I think if we were going to have like different people from different continents, we should like go to the center, like over here. That way, everyone can arrive relatively quickly. Because if we like try to meet everyone over here, then people will like
It's
way
gonna
over
take
here.
forever,
Yeah. So we need to find like a common distance for everyone.
Fair.
Instead, you will also need something to bring the enemy towards where your map grouping.
Yeah, because the reason Aspa would be good is they're all over in Glimmedeer.
You guys haven't learned this yet, but Alalia is also completely black now. Red is the Eastern Kingdoms. The red is dissipating. I haven't updated the map, so it's all practically clear. The Northern Kingdoms are practically clear. The Southern Kingdoms are a little less for wear. They're not as bad as they are currently, but there's still pretty big amount of the darkness there. But the Western Kingdom is all but over.
Wow. Okay, maybe a little more central.
Yeah. Faywin.
As much as I don't want to do this, we also have the ability to wish something.
Yeah, we have to go get the lamp, though. To do that. And then release a evil genie and set.
Yeah.
But that's for campaign 2.
Yeah. It starts with a wish.
Hopefully we can tell them both to chill the fuck out until we're done with this. Again. So, if we're meeting Central, Galos is actually kind of
Yeah.
Central-ish. Or Grecos, either.
Yeah, and I mean, we have ships. we could-
Skybore's tribe is all the way down here.
True.
And they're not exactly advanced.
No, but you might have druids there that could open up portals.
You mean like spells that require them to be at a a tree at a certain location before? They can't
Or
just
have
teleport willy-nilly.
seen the tree, which we could do via mirror and show them said tree.
I would also like to point out they could magically transport closer and then take a boat.
True.
You do have the ability to teleport to the Elder Trees too, I think. Skyward.
Yeah, but they are very spaced out. I could do one at Erosa, however you pronounce it. One in Medilia, which is this island right here.
Mm-hmm.
There. I think you have one
I
in
could
the
do
Northern Kingdom.
One here, and Anzu over here, which seems kind of redundant. So it is,
A little spread out, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, these are all like armies and groups of people anyway. They're going to have to get somewhere. And we're not going to find somewhere perfectly in the middle for it. Oh, easy. We need to find something equally distant for everybody, or that's advantageous for how we're going to attack. And hope they can figure out travel. Or ask for help. So, before we continue, and people start branching off to gather people. Where are we going to meet?
As you guys are chatting, you will see a younger half man in golden armor approaching you in a cloak. He eventually stops and he be at attention as he kind of delivers his news. He goes, Kruda, we the Gilded Army greatly appreciates and welcomes your visit. The General the General Theriel and the Captain Veron has asked for your audience in the war tent as soon as you can. And he kind of steps to the side and kind of motions to the war tent, and he kind of suggests if you would follow him.
Before we go in that tent, where? Or, I guess we might decide in the tent? I don't.
We might. There might be more information.
Fair. But so far, one of the G countries. Let's go.
Yes. We'll go in the tent, I guess.
As you guys follow the soldier to the tent, you walk through, and immediate impressions is that this is the most plush and cushy war tent you've ever seen in your life. Everything is golden and gilded and just overly decorated down to the silverware and the plates and other decorations that are kind of around the room. You see a wood elf with long copper brown hair and ceremonial armor. And let me go ahead and move you back to that page real quick. And then you also are going to notice another person at kind of the map table with her. And let me share his picture. And as you guys enter, Theriel and Theriel and Veron. Let me go ahead and put the names in there too for you guys. Oh wait, these are going to the GM later. Dang it. No, I'll do this too. Okay. And then we're also gonna see a what seems to look like a man at first, but upon closer inspection is clearly a woman. Also at the table, wearing an armor that is that's symbolic to Kanzu and the Imperial Guard. We'll go ahead and put her name on there too. I think you know who that is. So, as you guys enter the tent and they're discussing and looking over this kind of map of Agrabah, and they have a larger map side by side to it. They're looking at similar information that you were reading about the darkness and where they're at and things that are going on in the kingdom. But as they see you guys enter, Theriel The wood elf with long copper brown hair looks over to you all and says, "Karuda, you finally have joined us. My captains and men have shared many stories coming from your flight across the mountains of Kanzu and taking down the fortress. You shattered every expectation that I could have for even a quadrant of my men. I salute your destruction. I do fear what it might invite." The Varon speaks up to, "Please come in. We have much to discuss about things that are evolving. The merchants and artisans have all agreed that we cannot take a silent role in this fight any longer. Bad for business when things can't go well, and there's no business to be had with the world on fire. It doesn't hurt that you, Karuda, have proven something worth gambling on. At least enough for the merchants to throw exorbitant amount of gold our way to see that this ends for good. Very impressed with how you organized the ceasefire with the Ashi. That was smart diplomacy. That war nearly broke us.
Glad we could help you.
We've been discussing, since we've been able to set up camp here, what our best options are.
What's been decided so far?
Really, we've been trying to collect news from the Western Front to see exactly how bad things are and what our best plan would be. It's fragments right now, and it's sadly not great news. Luckily, many of the people inside of Glimmerdeer's stronghold are to the Underdark and escape a lot of the tragedy that struck. But there were not all that could make it, and apparently thousands of citizens that couldn't get to the Underdark in time fell victim either to the catastrophe of the blast or the darkness troops moving in upon Glimmerdeer. It is said they are escaping through the tunnels with the help of the Drow, find a way to Espa to regroup with the others. But it already has taken so many casualties from them. Snow White still lives, but she's now a widow. And Rapunzel and King Richard fell in the escape. She seeks the aid of Ariel and Espa now, as them remaining as one of the two leaders of the Western Kingdoms remaining. It's not for certain what is happening right now with Glimmerdeer, but we see no movement from Glimmerdeer to march upon Madeir right away. Varon speaks up then and says, Theriel speaks up, the general says, which we are going to assume is good news. Hopefully it means that this weapon of theirs is not something they can fire immediately right afterward. Perhaps we have some time before their second shot. Though I have no way of gauging what kind of delay we're talking about. Certainly, you were important to it, Kurudu, if they were baiting you into the fortress in the Cave of Wonders, as we've been told by some of the refugees and those that made it back to camp. Perhaps
Yes.
you are key to the weapon's efficiency or ability to recharge.
100% it seems. I don't know if it only had one charge, but they would have an easier time firing at us, say, if we had failed.
And let's thank the heavens that you guys did not. Veron speaks up and says, as Theriel suggested, we have no idea of how it takes to recharge that weapon. But, and these are assumptions being made by what little we have, that there at the flying fortress of the Empress not moving is a good sign that there may be some time. But once that thing starts to move, I think we can only expect the worst. And undoubtedly, the Empress is wanting to take full control of the Western Kingdoms before she moves on. Thariel that says, you've made many allies upon your Karuta. Some questionable, but I cannot argue with your success. Veron then says, I believe what Thariel is trying to say is, we heard that that not only did the dragons were not destroyed in the fall of the fortress, but you've made an alliance with them?
Mm-hmm.
Baron and Thariel seem very uncomfortable with this.
Why?
Dragons don't fight for gold or glory. They fight for instinct. What happens when that turns on us?
I would imagine the same that could happen if, say, another kingdom turned on another. The dragons are here. We can't change that. Either they fight with us to protect their way of life as well as ours, or they lose it. That's what
Or-
everybody is right now.
Or would you
Not
rather them
at
on the
our
other side?
hands. That. They could be turned.
I'd
Better
rather
us than the darkness, yeah?
Speak up and be like, they're also about to have a new king for their dragon, so.
They seem definitely still off-put by the dragons.
Look, this isn't just a war. This is potentially world-ending. Everybody in the world needs to fight it, including dragons. Could it bite us in the ass later? Yeah. But we do kind of need to be able to get to it later for that to happen. If they can help us get to the win, maybe they won't immediately turn and bite arms.
Definitely seems like it's not the immediate issue, but the Gilded Army is prepared to do what it needs to do to protect Fantasia and our future business interests of our employers. So if they do turn, I will not hesitate to direct my attention towards the winged beasts.
But you will give them a chance to not turn, right?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Callie.
Can I also follow that with an insight check too to see if he lies to me?
Sure, this is Thariel at the moment, though, the general.
She lies to me. Either
Sure.
one.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't persuasive. Jesus.
Do you want to use a token?
No.
No.
I have a feeling they're gonna do what they want. It is best for their interest. I don't know if I could sway that.
True.
We'll respond saying, We will protect our investors' best interests, but I do agree for the time being, as long as they are working on our side, that's less men of mine that might have to die.
And in the future,
No,
when
I
we
will be
all
keeping a very watchful eye upon with strict orders to return any kind of attacks that they encounter during the middle of the battle, dragon.
after the battle, please. If we start turning on ourselves, we've already lost.
Then I suggest you get your new allies on a very short leash.
I think multiples, we can do that.
Milan kind of speaks up and says, if we really truly have the dragons on our side, then we've seen how effective they've been at decimate Agrabah and Kanzu. Perhaps they'll give us a fighting chance to take control of the battlefield while we figure out what we are going to do with the evil Empress and the Forgotten that still loom thousands in the air, prepare to shoot death upon our next stronghold or major city.
Exactly. And as
go ahead.
Cronus mentioned, we are working on getting the good dragons with us as well. Or at least the historically good ones. Never like to judge people based on history books.
Well, I'll say this is bigger than any of us or any nation. She goes, let the Empress come. And let her meet not a soldier, but an entire army. I'm sure many will rally to the call after the decimation of Glimadier. This is no longer a show that you can just be an audience member to, but something that we all have to play an active role in.
That being said, where should we gather?
That's what we are debating on ourselves as well. Rumors is that they're escaping through the tunnels to a ruinous stronghold on the mountainous region of Espa. It's not quite as strong or fortified as Glimadier, but it's also not sitting on a coastline with no real terrain protecting it like Madir is sadly a victim to at the moment. It really hinges, I think, depends on when when this weapon will recharge, or when we start seeing the fortress move from Glimadier to the eastern coast. I'm speculating, and strictly speculating. I have no real way to gauge how long it will recharge such a weapon. But I'm going to speculate that no less than a week and no more than a month. I don't feel comfortable guessing anything outside of that range. Mulan will speak up. It says, we'll speak about the stronghold a little bit and also share the fact, where's the name of it? I just had it. Where did I put the name? Stronghold's name that they're retreating to is... where are you? It's a Spanish name. Where did I put it? Okay, I can't find it, so that's not important. Um, anything you guys want to say, respond to regarding that?
So, would it be wise for us to gather troops closer to Espa? Not necessarily on the continent, but on the borders there, so it's easy enough to ship out if need be. Like Galeos, the Vakel Islands, I forget the name of the northern part of the purple continent.
Let me go back to it. I'm sorry, so Lorna, what were you suggesting?
I was suggesting, would it be good to gather people along that coast and then easier enough to ship out and go that way rather than being on Espa and them seeing us our forces?
You're suggesting amassing your forces here on the coast so for an escape, if needed, while they kind of get settled into the stronghold here. Flying fortress news. Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know, can we be on the map?
No, only me.
How dare. Gosh.
It's like, nope, you're blind in this war room with a map.
Are you suggesting amassing your troops like on the coast while
Yeah.
the strong they kind of try to fortify in the stronghold? That if you suggest that kind of Therial was just I was just discussing that idea with Baron himself.
Yes.
We were talking about if there was to be a good fallback position, but if your dragons are really coming as they claim, that would give us plenty of distance to take the fight to them and weigh out our options. Hit them with everything we got. Mulan says, I don't think we're going to defeat them if we don't hit them with everything we got. So we
We're
must
not.
make... She goes, I agree with amassing as far away from the front line as possible for when we decide to make our final strike, but she goes, we hold out, we will fail. We've seen what they've done to our dead and fallen. If they haven't captured them and turned them against, they've ripped from the dead themselves and turned to despicable black dark shadow creatures. This is not an army that dies and has to rebuild. It's an endless army that just seems to
grow and grow and grow,
Grow
until
and
it
grow.
just...
consume.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So, Lorna kind of points to a few islands. We're thinking about amassing kind of here-ish. Because I don't know about this part, whether it's been freed or not.
I'm sorry, what were you saying about the northern part here?
So that's kind of where I'm thinking Lorna was suggesting that they amass the armies.
And Galos and Noros, the Vakels, and then
Yeah. But I don't know about...
move towards Adspa
Yeah.
if we need to.
And
Or have
I
them
don't...
fall back to Noros and Galos.
Yeah, and I don't know if this area has been freed or not, because I know you said that some of this was taken back.
Omaza is completely taken over still, except as well as Medea. Saranha is completely free again, so that place is open. But Karif still has some darkness on their doorstep.
Okay, so this other part is open. Okay, so then if we kind of do that as that's goddamn like where we amass, right? that makes sense. Because then we can all kind of head to Espa and come from this side and from through here. Right?
Yeah. You know, we are at time. What if I do this between now and next session? Why don't I compile a list of allies, quasi-allies, like neutral allies, or those, fully invested allies, or and stuff like that. And that way you kind of have a running list and I hate to say inventory of where you would like to start. So you can make a checklist of people you need to contact / where to go, where to meet, wherever you guys decide on it. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's been a lot over 7 years of Fantasia, so
Yeah.
I will do my best to kind of go through and produce that list, and you guys can kind of use that as you continue to strategize or what you guys would like to see happen. No wrong answers.
Yep.
So
Can we take off 25 gold because I'm going to use it to do divination?
Yes.
I was about to say I can do that tomorrow.
Do it now.
what's divination do again?
Basically, I can ask a question about I can ask a question and the gods or
DM.
servants of the gods can answer the question. They can be very vague about it. They like, but basically,
Request.
I can. Okay, so I was going to draw on the sand, like 1 through 30. Like I want to make a grid, 1 through 30, and then I want to get it like a leaf from like my pocket or whatever, and just drop it and let the wind blow. And my question will be, how many days before the
Howard,
huh?
it has to be within 7 days. You can ask about an event that could occur within 7 days.
Well, it's not an event. It's just like how many, just how long the charge is. It's like I'm not asking
Right.
what's the future going to be, but rather what's the time limit of the charge.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to ask how long before the recharge, and I'm going to drop the leaf, and it will land on wherever day it will. It'll let me know how many days it has before it's fully charged.
It lands on 1 day.
Fuck.
Well,
Oh, what's that beam of light coming this way?
What's the DC for, or is it?
There's no
successful?
DC.
It-
Actually,
there's not a DC. You just have to answer truthfully. You can be cryptid.
But I'm using the leaf as a conduit. Like, let me know, what the spirits are saying.
It just says there's this thing about there's a DC on the bottom of your card, and also
Oh
says,
no, that's just
no, that's
me.
just-
That's just it does that with every spell I
Yeah.
put up there.
Okay. Perfect. I think that's a good place to pick up with what happens with your special magical leaf. All right,
Magical leaf.
your 4th level leaf spell. All right. Well, cool, guys. I hope everyone had fun. Lots of talking, but I think it was good, relaxed recovery from lots and lots of death and fighting. So.